All right, back again here with Wealth Charts, Apex Trader Funding. This is just today, right? So again, it's just a test account, beta account. I trade literally just using the dome. I don't use anything else. I mean, I do look at the charts. Don't get me wrong. I look at the charts. I don't trade based off of order flow. I don't trade anything like that. I literally look for places in the market where we can get in and get out. I look for pullbacks in which I can start placing my orders. Like I really feel like this is still coming down. We made this huge move up throughout the day. So it looks like we're just going to bleed off a little bit here on the Friday afternoon. So I'm just going to throw in some sell orders because I think this is coming on down a little bit. I'm going to spread them out just a little bit. So we're already in two, now three. Again, these are the micros. All right, this is a 5-minute chart. We look at the 1-minute chart. All right, you can see we had a nice little drop here and getting a good little pullback. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more right in here so I can jump in this. I've got 6 now. And am I worried about it pulling back this hard or anything? No, we're in a pretty good downtrend right now, especially on the 1-minute. Even on a 5-minute chart, we're in a downtrend. If you look at a 15-minute chart real quick, we've had a nice little pullback, right? Had this nice move up, kind of made this other little push to the upside, and then we just fell off, right? So now I'm going to start, since I'm in a short, I'm going to go ahead and pull away about 4 or 5 points. Just start stacking them down here. I'm in 6 total. That's 5, right? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get out when it makes its way back down, right? So yeah, we're over there. Here comes the pull. There you go. Look at that. Out of 4 of the 6 there, if we continue to move down like this, let's go back to the 1-minute chart. Continue to pull down like this, I'm going to start re-entering in pullback sections where I think we can get a pullback into it. If for some reason it doesn't pull back into it, all right, so there we are. We're back into all 4 right now. Now I can start loading back up. 4 total. There we go. Let's see if this wick fills, right? So I feel like usually when we get a big wick like this, where it's pulled down and then it kind of sells back up or buys back up, I feel like most of this wick gets bought up. And if it does, then we'll be out of most of those that we just got in. So let's see if we get that push. We start pushing back up into here. I will be fine if it pushes back up as long as we don't break this threshold right here. So there we go. See, we're filling that wick again. Didn't fill it as much as I wanted to. I wanted to go full, right? We got out of 1. We didn't get out of all of them. So this will be kind of my line in the sand right there. Visually, I don't put stop losses or I don't put stop markets to get stopped out or anything like that. I let the trade run until it gets to an uncomfortable position, and then I feel like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get out. Just how many times have you put like a stop loss in right here or even right here, and the market worked back and barely tick it and then drop immediately way out of range? And this right here was perfectly okay. As long as you're not over leveraged, you're good to go. Right now, I'm still just in 1 contract. In fact, I feel like I should have put on more contracts knowing that this was going to come all the way down, right? Because I feel like we're going to break this and then keep going down. So there we go. Completely out of that trade, roughly $2,500 on that trade, out of all the accounts, right? It was only about $125 per account times 20 accounts. So it was about $2,500 total, which brings the total up to about $41,000 today, just playing around with this beta testing and wealth charts. Again, I know I've said it many times. I'm really, really excited for them to be moving to a platform like this. Very excited about it. So let's go ahead and get all of the drawings off. But look, yeah. So in and out. I didn't add to it. even if I had have added to it, I would have probably still put my sales easier said than done, obviously after the fact. Now that's pushing straight up. I would have probably put my sales within this range. I don't think I would have been holding anything right here. But again, the line in the sand for me would be right there. And I actually kind of like this to be a little bullish now. So we'll see how this candle closes. If it pulls back into this area right here and then buys back up, I'll probably start buying and then start selling around this line. If it pushes straight through that line, then I'm going to wait for some more structure. I'm going to kind of walk away from it, put my eyes off of it for a little bit, look for more structure and see what it will do from that point. So 15-minute chart, small little pullback. Let's go to 5-minute chart. Yeah. You know, if you trade, you know, based on liquidity and things like that, then, you know, you're looking at a lot of liquidity situated above this area right here where we just kind of bought into it, and just continued to roll on the lower time frames down. So we've got a lot of liquidity in this area that he can come back up and nail. Also, you know, somewhat of an order block right there, right? That you can look to see if it gets through. If it breaks through that, we're going higher. If it doesn't, then obviously we could just chop right across in this area for a pretty good while. Which is another reason why I kind of like the way I'm trading right here. I don't feel like I get chopped up as much when I'm trading like this. So let me explain what I mean there. So let's go to a pretty choppy area. All right, very choppy area, right? This is a pretty choppy area. We're at a resistance up in this area, right? We've gotten to this point, we've pulled down, pulled liquidity, we've made it up, but we haven't made a new high, right? And we're just kind of building some liquidity right in this middle area. We're building some liquidity right in this area. Actually, I need that to be a little bigger where it was, right? And as you can see, that guy came up and popped it, took out the rest of the liquidity right there before snapping down. And if that's how you trade, right? I'm just talking to those if that's how you trade. Is it how I trade? I'm aware of it. All right. I'm just going to say I'm aware of things like that. I'm not saying that I'm trading solely based on the fact that the market's going to come up here and get liquidity and then drop. That's not what I'm thinking there. Is there a higher possibility? Probably, maybe. Yeah. Could I have been thinking that in the moment? Sure. But I wasn't here when that happened, so I don't know. What I would do, though, in a chopped up situation, if I do feel like this is going to be bearish, right? Let's say we had this push down and came up. We didn't make a new high. We started chopping around. And I feel like this is going to be bearish, right? I can start building the position in areas like that, right? And then my line in the sand would be up here. Because I know that if we make that new high, we're probably going higher. All right, so my line in the sand could be there, and I'd be building in positions like this, 3, 4, 5, 6 contracts. Then as we do pop up, I'm perfectly okay. If anything, I might add to it. Leave myself some room just in case it does push against me. And I'm in 4 contracts, and I'm comfortable with 6. And I get in 4, and I leave 2, and if it does push up here, I can buy 2. Once it breaks here, I'm out. Right? Breaks and closes, I'm out. If it doesn't break and close there, then I'm still in, and now I have 6 contracts. Whichever scenario would have played out, however, it doesn't matter. The whole point is I'm building my position through the chop, and I'm fine with it doing something like this, right? I'm on the micros, which means the leverage is not going to be crazy high against me. I'm not going to be $400 or $500 an account against me in this chop area. I can build the position and let it run against me, and I'm fine with that. So then once the position is built and it does start to move in my favor, that's when I can say, okay, I'm going to take some things off in the middle of this, right? I feel like we get below that candle. I'll take some off there, and then I'll leave one on to break there, or I'll leave one on to break here. Either way. And of course, we know that happens because it ended up happening, in hindsight, looking back clearly, fell off completely. So, and as you can see, look, there's my line in the sand. It come up, touched, and dropped. I still like this to be a little bearish. So I would have liked to have, once this put in, should have built in a position right there. I feel like I'm kind of late to the game. We might have a good little pullback. Uh, See if I can get in and play a little bit before it actually does drop. All right, we're in one. 100 bucks, 150 bucks, one contract, right? That's pretty solid. Look at that. That's a pretty solid move just right there. But I feel like, clearly this is going to move back up. It's got area to move back up in here. These kind of candles right here usually, signal that there might be a pullback into that. I'm gonna go ahead and flatten all these positions. That's a pretty good move. Good enough for me. If we start pulling back up into here, I'll add to. I'll get back in. Yeah, yeah. This right here looks like it's gonna break. So what I'd like to see right now is a little bit of a wick here, drop down, but come back up and wick, and then get a little move up, but it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. It's a little bit too far of a drop. But again, I read the markets, and like I was just saying, I felt like I was getting in a little late to the game there. I felt like I'd already missed it. The position should have been built on this candle right there. That's the position. That's when you should have built the position. And the reason I say that that's where I would have built the position is because we've got this move here, and then we've got this push up that is immediately rejected with a 1 minute engulfing candle right there. Every time we have a pretty good size engulfing candle after a push back up, it has broken down quite a bit. So I would have built the position on that second candle. I would have started building that position all through there, 5, 6, 7, contracts, started taking them off down in here and probably left one on for the bottom there, right? Again, pretty easy to see hindsight. But that's the way my brain would have thought in that trade. And that's the reason why I said I felt like I was coming in a little late to the game when it was already down here. Even though that's 21,683 and it dropped all the way down to 68. Actually dropped all the way down to 66. That's a pretty good move. So, and we get a pretty nice snap bounce after we barely grab some liquidity, a little draw right there. We pop back up, engulfing candle. Let's just see how far this runs, right? So again, we get above that, we're probably going higher. We close above that. If this candle, to me, closes halfway below that engulfing candle, we're going to roll over. That's the way I'm looking at the market. I don't know. It's just experience of watching the market time and time again. Would just allows me to see candlesticks like that. It's almost something that it's not necessarily that it can't be taught. I think it has to be experienced. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is that it has to be experienced. And if you can be in the markets long enough to experience moves like this, then you can build positions into that, right? So we closed a little high there. Looks like we're trying to break down. Yeah. So again, I'm really enjoying the program. I cannot wait until it goes live and then I can jump on it. I think I might build a position right here. We'll wait. That's a pretty good little snapback. Getting a little volatile right here. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a second. Now, this candlestick wick right here, I don't feel I don't see, to me it doesn't have to fill. So remember when I was talking about this candlestick right there and how I felt like that wick would fill completely and it ended up doing that? I don't think this one is the same as those. And it's really just based on where it's at in the chart, right? So because this one is situated at obvious support, then I don't think it has to fill. Now, could it wick down into it? Sure. Does it need to completely cover it like it did that one? No. Depending on where this one closes, I can see this going up and this kind of being the break, not necessarily break of structure, but a break to go higher and maybe retest these highs right here. And that's the reason why seeing that candle snap back like that, I'm glad I didn't start building that position. So, all right, I think I'm going to end it right there. I appreciate everybody watching. More to come. I'm going to try and do this on a daily basis. I know these are random times during the day, but that's the beauty of trading the way I'm trading right here, is that I would love to see some momentum in the market, but it's not like it's not like I have to have particular times. In fact, I would rather the market be a little slower, which allows us to build a um, position a little easier without it kind of really snapping up and down around where I'm trying to get in at. So anyways, I appreciate you watching. Like, if you want to subscribe, I appreciate all of that. Comment, ask questions. I don't mind answering questions. I'm a teacher. This is my classroom, and it is Christmas break. So this is my last day in the class. We had a half a day. So nice. I miss the kids over break, but I enjoy that time that I get to just kind of decompress from the whole situation. So ask questions, comment, please, and I'll get back to you. And yeah, see you in the next one. Hopefully, it'll be probably tomorrow.